Hello, this problem is from GATE 2023 and this problem relates with the power system subject and it belongs to bus admittance matrix. So the question says that the bus admittance matrix of 3 bus power system is given below. This is by bus matrix. Now considering that there is no shunt inductor connected to any of the buses, which of the following cannot be true. So just be careful with the term cannot be true. So you have to tell that which of the following options cannot be true. And these are the options given below. And based on the finding the 3 bus system, we can tell the things about line charging capacitor or shunt elements present at the buses for this 3 bus system. So now before we begin to solve the problem, just we have a quick recap of the formation of bus matrix. Suppose we have a 3 bus system, that is bus 1, bus 1, bus 2 and bus 3, and these buses are connected by the line admittance. Like here bus 1 is connected with bus 2 by line admittance by 1 2, and bus 2 is connected with bus 3 by line admittance by 2 3, and bus 3 is connected with bus 1 by the line admittance by 1 3. Now there is also line charging admittance connected at there is also line charging admittance for the respective lines. Here we can see that y12 dash divided by 2, y13 dash divided by 2 and y23 dash divided by 2 are all the line charging admittance for the respective buses. And we know that line charging admittance of a line is always represented as pi equivalent. So these are represented in pi equivalent form. Now we can see that for 3 bus system we make the bus as 3 cross 3 matrix, and this 1 2 3 represents the columns and 1 2 3 represents here as rows. So the elements will form correspondingly y11 y12 y13 and y21 y22 y23 y31 y32 y33. So these y12 so y11 y22 y33 are the diagonal elements of the matrix. As we all know, these are the diagonal elements, and other elements are called as off diagonal elements, right? So for making the bus matrix, we need to know certain rules, and there are two rules. That is, for diagonal elements there is separate rule, and for off diagonal elements there is separate rule. So for diagonal elements, what is the rule? And the diagonal element is equal to sum of the admittance connected to it. So for the diagonal elements, the rule is that if you find the diagonal elements, you have to just sum of all the elements connected to it. As for example, we have to find y11, that is diagonal element. So whatever the elements connected to the bus 1, we have to sum up. So for y1 is 11 is equal to y12 plus y13 plus y12 dash divided by 2 plus y13 3 dash divided by 2. This is for bus 1. Now similarly y22 will be sum of all elements connected at bus 2. So y22 will be y12 plus y23 plus y12 dash divided by 2 plus y23 dash divided by 2. Similarly y33 will be all the elements connected to bus 3, sum of all elements connected to bus 3 is equal to y33. So y33 will be y13 plus y23 plus y13 dash divided by 2 plus y23 dash divided by 2. Now the we will see the rule for off diagonal elements, and the rule says that this is equal to a negative admittance connected between the buses. So the off diagonal element is equal to the negative of admittance connected between the buses. And also we know that Y bus is a symmetrical matrix. Based on these rules, we will find the off diagonal elements. So Y12 is equal to Y21 since this is a symmetrical matrix. And what we know? We know that it is equal to negative admittance connected between the buses. So Y12 will be minus minus of this Y12 because Y12 is the line admittance connected between the bus 1 and bus 2. Similarly, for off diagonal elements Y23 and Y32 will be negative of the admittance connected between the lines bus 2 and bus 3, that is minus of Y23, and Y13 is equal to Y31, and this will equal to negative of line admittance connected between the bus 1 and bus 3, that will be minus of Y13. Now one thing we should also know that if sum of all elements of a row is 0, then there is no shunt element present at the bus. This we have to just keep in mind. This will help you a lot in solving the problem. If sum of elements in the row is non-zero, then there is no then there is a shunt element. And suppose if the sum of elements in a row is 0, then there is shunt elements. And this sum of elements of row I equal to net shunt admittance connected to the bus I. So this will we will apply in solving this problem. So don't worry, we are going to solve this problem by applying this short trick. That said that if sum of all elements in a row is 0, then there is no shunt element present at the bus, and if it's non-zero, then there is shunt element, and there that non-zero value will be equal to the net shunt admittance connected to that bus. Okay. Now we are given with this bi-bus matrix, and first for solving this problem we will make the 3-bus system so that everything will be visualized, and we will say about the options what should be correct and what should be wrong. So first we will it is asked about the shunt element, so we will sum of all elements of a 0. So by summing up of row 1 we will get 0 value, and by summing up of this row 2 we will get j 0.5, and by row 3 we will get j1. So from here we can say that no shunt element is present at bus 1. No shunt element is present at bus 1, and at the buses 2 and 3 shunt elements are present. Shunt element is present at bus 2 and bus 3. Okay, all right. So what would be the value for this shunt element? So we can say that net shunt admittance connected at the bus 1, it is represented as y10. We can say that it is 0, and y20 at bus 2 will be j 0.5, and y30 equal to j1. Now we will make the 3-bus system. So suppose this is bus 1, this is bus 2, this is bus 3, and this is bus 1, this is bus 2, this is bus 3. So what would be the line connected between the admittance value of line connected between the 1 and 2? So since we know that y12 is equal to y21, that is given by j10. So this is the negative of line admittance connected between bus 1 and 2. So by 1 2 will be minus of J10. So we can say that this line admittance value is minus of J10. Now in order to find the line admittance connected between bus 1 and 3, we know that y13 is equal to y31 and this value is equal to J5. So y13 will be minus of J5. So this value will be minus of J5. Y12, Y13, this will be minus of J5. Similarly, for line admittance connected in bus 2 and 3, we will find using this value y23 is equal to y32 and this is equal to J4. So line admittance connected between bus 2 and bus 3 will be negative of this element. So it will be minus J4. So we have find all the line admittance connected between the respective buses. Now in order to satisfy this diagonal elements, we have to connect the shunt elements. So we can say that at bus 2 we are having one shunt element that value is J0.5. So we will connect this shunt charging admittance at bus 2. This value is J0.5 and you can also tell that it is equal to y23 dash divided by 2, usually represent like that. We know that shunt element is always represented at pi equivalent. So it will be also J0.5. Since there is no shunt element present at bus 1, so we have not add this shunt element in this side, in the line, in this line that is connected bus 1 and 2. Since there is shunt element present at bus 3, so we have connected this charging admittance at the between the at the line connecting bus 2 and bus 3. Okay, so why we have not connected this charging admittance in this side, that is line connecting bus 1 and 2, because there is no shunt element connected to the bus 1. Now we have satisfied this value, that is y20. We are getting the shunt element present at this bus 2 equals to J0.5, and now we will satisfy this at bus 3. So we can see that at bus 3 the net shunt element connected at bus 3 value is J1 and we are getting one shunt element as charging admittance, that is J0.5. So we have to connect one shunt capacitor more so that we can satisfy this net shunt element present at this bus 3. So this will be also J0.5. By adding this shunt capacitor with capacitance, line charging suspectance, we will get J1 value. So this will be the equivalent diagram for 3 bus system that represents this bus admittance matrix. So we can make the conclusions here. We can say that between lines 1 and 2, between lines 1 and 2, no line charging suspectance, no line charging suspectance, susceptance, no line charging susceptance, and between lines 1 and 3, that is also no line charging susceptance, no line charging susceptance, no line charging susceptance, and between lines 2 and 3, between lines 2 and 3, line charging susceptance is present, line charging susceptance is present. And at bus 3, we have seen that shunt capacitor is present, shunt capacitor is present. So we have drawn the following conclusions. Now we will see the options. First option is that line charging capacitor of finite value is present in all three lines. This is incorrect. We have seen that line charging capacitor of finite value is present at bus 3 only. And second option is that line charging capacitor of finite value is present in line 2 and 3 only. Sorry, this line charging capacitor of finite value present in the bus connect that is connecting the line 2 and 3 only. So this is correct. So B option is correct. Now C option is that line charging capacitor of finite value is present in line 2, 3 only, and shunt capacitor of finite value is present in bus 3 only. No, this first line is correct, but shunt capacitor is present at bus 3 only. So this is also incorrect. And the fourth option, the line charging capacitor of finite value is present to line 2, 3 only, and shunt capacitor of finite value is present at bus 3 only. So both options are correct. So both the statements are correct in D option. So in this option it is asked about that which of the following options cannot be true. So be careful with this statement, and the correct answer for this problem is A and C, because these statements are incorrect. I hope you understand. Thank you.